dot stroke rect. Alright, and we're going to pass in the same exact parameter values as the rectangle itself. Okay, so if we save that, you can now see that it has a 1 pixel black border. Now we can change the amount of pixels. We can make this thicker if we want. To do that, right under where we declared the color, let's say ctx dot line width, and let's set it to 3. Alright, so now the border is now thicker. Alright, so let's go take a look at our logo. Alright, so we have the red square with the black border. Next we want another square that's all black. Alright, so let's go back here and let's just add a comment here. Say red square. Whoop. Say draw red square. Now we want to draw black square. Alright, so same idea. Let's just copy this here. We'll copy the fill style and the actual drawing, the fill rect. Alright, and we'll change the color to black. And then the position, we want to make this a little different because we want it to be moved over. We want it to be moved to the right and down, just like this. Alright, so in the parameters, let's change this. Let's change this to 40 and change this to 45, and we'll keep the same size. Okay, check that out. Alright, so it's down a little bit too far. So this parameter, let's actually make this 40. Alright, that's good. Alright, so there's our squares. Next thing we want to do is text. Alright, so underneath our black square, we'll say draw text, and take the CTX object, and let's set the font. So we can say dot font, and we'll set that equal to 30 point Arial. Okay, so that's just going to set the font. Next we want to fill it, and we're not going to use, you could use just a solid color, but I want to kind of show you how to do gradients. Alright, so we're going to make the text red and black gradient. Yeah, so we'll just say create gradient. Alright, and to do that we're going to create a new variable, and I'm just going to call it gradient, and we're going to set that equal to ctx dot create linear gradient. Alright, and that's going to take a couple parameters. Let's see. The 4 parameters are going to be, the first one is going to be the x coordinate of the start point of the gradient. Alright, so for this we're going to say 0. The next one will be the y coordinate of the start point of the gradient. That's also going to be 0. And the next one is going to be the x coordinate of the endpoint, which is going to be equal to the width of the canvas. So we can get that with c dot width, and that c is coming from up here, is coming from the canvas element's width. Alright, and then the last parameter is going to be the y coordinate of the endpoint, and that's going to be 0 as well. Alright, so now that we have that, we can use that gradient variable. Alright, so we'll say gradient dot, and we're going to use the function called add color stop. And the first parameter here is going to be it's going to be a value between 0.0 and 1.0, and it's going to basically represent the position between the start and the end of a gradient. So for this we're going to say 0, and the color we're going to use here is going to be red. Okay, I'm just going to use the word red. And then let's copy this. Okay, so the next color we want to use is black, and we're actually going to use a 1 here and then change this to black. Alright, so that creates our gradient for us. Now we can actually we can fill the text with the gradient. And we can do that with ctx dot fill style. Alright, so just like the rectangles, we use fill style. And let's see, we're going to set this to just gradient, right to the variable gradient. Alright, so that's setting that. The next thing we need to do is actually draw the text, and we can do that easily with fill text. Alright, so the first parameter we're going to throw in here is going to be the actual text we want to show up. So we're going to say my company, and then we want the x axis position and then the y axis. So we're going to move it down to 100 or over to 100 and then down 80. Alright, so that should do it. Let's check. Alright, so there's our text, and you can see we have this horizontal gradient effect. Goes from red to black. So that's how you do gradients as well as text with Canvas. Alright, so the last thing we want to do is very easy. We're just going to create a line that goes underneath. Also, I want to give the canvas a background color of light gray. Alright, so we can do that easily through CSS. So up here we have our canvas element. Let's just set the background color to light gray. Okay, so the line, so we're going to go down a couple notches here, and we want to define our line properties. Alright, so the first thing is going to be the color or the stroke color of the line. So ctx dot stroke style, and we're going to set that to black. Alright, and then we're going to actually, yeah, that's going to be the stroke style. We can also set the fill style. So ctx dot fill style, and let's set that to red. And then the line width. So you can see we're doing basically the same kind of stuff we did up here with the rectangle. Created the fill, the stroke, and the line width. So line width, and we're gonna set that to 2. Alright, and then we want to start to draw our line. So what we want to do here is say ctx dot begin path. So basically, begin path is what you want to use when you want to start a new line or a new image or whatever. Alright, so begin path, and then we're going to say ctx dot move to. Alright, so move to isn't going to draw anything. It's going to simply move your cursor or your pointer or whatever you want to call it to a certain position. Alright, so let's move it to 90. So that'll be 90 on the x-axis and then 90 on the y-axis. Alright, now what we want to do now is actually draw the line. So we can say ctx dot line 2. Alright, so line 2 does basically the same that move 2 does, except that it draws the line. Move 2 does not. So we want to draw it, let's make it 350 on the x-axis, and we're going to keep it at 90 on the y-axis. Alright, so that's going to make a straight line. Then we want to, I'm going to say ctx dot stroke. Okay, so that's going to draw it for us, or complete the drawing for us. And then we're going to close the path. So ctx dot close path. Alright, so let's save that and take a look. Alright, so you can see that it started from 90 from the top, 90 from the side, and then went 350 across. Alright, so that is how you use shapes, strokes, gradients, text, and lines in Canvas. In the next video in this section, I'm going to just show you how to do some very, very simple animation.